Hi everyone, this is Alert Day Trading. The purpose of this video and the videos I make is to journal my trades, notice any mistakes I'm making, notice good behaviors I'm doing, and trying to duplicate those. So I just want to quickly go over a trade I took today. I'm overall pleased with my trading performance. So the trade I took was with JD, and if you watch some of my previous videos, you'll know that I am focused on stocks that are trading at their all-time highs, so they have very little resistance. So if you look, this is a monthly chart, and this is a max time frame, so this is the whole life of this stock. It's maybe about 5 or 6 years, and so there is no resistance level, right? And if we break it down to the daily chart, you'll notice we are breaking the all-time highs today. So about a week or two ago we had pullback, and then I guess it was consolidating, trading in this range, and now we are breaking out of the all-time highs. And so now we move to, let's use the 5-minute chart. You'll see we're trading above this red line, which is the all-time highs. And so as you can see, we broke out, and this would have been a nice trade right here, probably with, this would be the 3-minute time frame. That would have been a decent trade. I wasn't looking at this stock at this time though, so I saw it come above, when it broke above $57, and waited for the first pullback, first red candle to close, and I started using the 5-minute chart, and so I was ready to buy around here. But as you can see, we pulled back all the way down to about 56.70s, and so I didn't really like the 5-minute chart anymore. I still liked the potential that this stock had, so I started looking at the 10-minute time frame, and it was a little cleaner. I thought the pullback was nice, maybe a little deeper pullback than we might want, but I still thought, we're still above this red line. The pullback is still within the overall move higher. Let's see, so the low of this is 55.70s. We went all the way up to 57.50, so almost $2. So half of that is about $1 pullback. 56.70, so we're pretty much within the 50% pullback range. So you want the pullback definitely to be at least less than 50%. Obviously anything less than that is even better. And you can see it was the EMA, you have the VWAP holding. I just drew these trend lines, and that trend line was holding as well. And so my purchase price would be right above this red candle, so 57.17, right above that, with a stop below 56.70s. And so we broke above that candle right here. If you look at the 15-minute chart time frame, that was even cleaner, and so it's still the same pullback. Break above this candle right here, and that's happening right over here. And the pullback, decreasing volume, definitely a good sign, because you don't want a stock to be falling with increasing volume. So with a stock falling with little volume, that's a pretty good sign right there. Now the only thing is, when I ended up getting in the trade, we didn't get that volume, to push the stock even higher. I was looking for a break above this level, 57.50s, possibly going all the way up to $58 at least. But the high after my entry point was 57.40s, so I ended up taking a little profit right there, just because first of all, you have this high right here, so you definitely want to take some profit at that level of resistance. And also it's a $0.50 level, so you want to take a little profits approaching that $0.50. And so I have a take profit strategy that I follow, and I'm pretty pleased with it. Not only that, if you can see here, the stock ended up turning around, and I ended up raising my stop loss with the EMA. So I didn't want to keep the 56.70s level as my stop loss, as the EMA started to approach $57. So I ended up stopping out completely right here. So it's about 20 cents that I avoided. Not sure what's going to happen here. Probably would have still been in the trade, but at the same time, if we have a lower high, candles are breaking the lows of previous candles, so in my opinion, the trend is not really continuing. Let's see if we use a 30-minute time frame. I mean, it's starting to get a little messy. So, so if I were to, look at this chart right now, I wouldn't enter this trade. So I'm okay not being in the trade anymore. Especially once this red candle closed and was broken below that, I probably would not even want to be entering this trade. I might want to wait for a break above the 50-cent range above here, and then wait for a pullback and then possible entry there. But I was pleased with this entry. We just didn't get the volume over here to push the stock up higher. If I were to pay attention, notice any mistakes I made, I'm okay with the pullback. It wasn't that big of a pullback to where I'm thinking I shouldn't have taken the trade, so I'm okay with that. The volume, I'm still okay with that because I was anticipating the volume to come back in for the next push. We just didn't get it. And I'm pleased with my take profit strategy at the $0.50 mark, and I'm pleased with my exit strategy as the stock broke below this trend line, broke below the low of this candle, and eventually the EMAs. So I'm overall pleased with the trade. I ended up taking a small loss. The profits I took kind of canceled out a little bit of the losses I took over here. So it is a small loss, but I almost consider it a break-even trade because the loss doesn't really affect my account too much. So I just wanted to show you this other stock that I was looking at GNUS. And if we look at the all-time chart, you'll notice that when I first looked at it, it was trading around under $6. And you can see here that there was some resistance here, and we broke above $6. Now, I personally would prefer to trade it if it were over the $8 mark, because that would be the all-time high, and then you don't have any resistance levels over there. And here's the main point of why I'm focused on all-time high stocks, is because with this level of resistance, you limit the potential reward So you have a bunch of people probably ready to short the stock at this level. And if you entered here, then, you know, you're limiting yourself to possible continuation. Now, does that mean it won't happen? No, of course it could happen, but you still have this wall of sellers probably ready to short the stock, and you can see it's exactly what happened. And I drew these lines before all of this happened. I was looking at the all-time chart, and you can see this level right here. You can see this level right here and this level here. Now, I was tempted to take the trade if we had a pullback above the $6 because the risk to reward would have been a nice one. If we had if we broke above $6 and maybe had a pullback around here and then an entry, then definitely if it was maybe if I'm risking 20 to 50 cents and then the resistance is at $8, that's a possible risk to reward of 1 to 4, 1 to 8, which is really good. So there I might have been flexible just because we are trading near the all-time highs, which you could eventually experience a short squeeze with all these short sellers ready to short. But if you get a big enough push, you get all these short sellers, stopping out, and then you end up with what's called a short squeeze. So if I could have entered over here, and this red line holding, I probably would have been very tempted to enter the trade just because, this all-time chart looks nice. Let's look at the daily chart, also looking very nice. But as it approached, we never really got that pullback I was looking for. We got it in the 1 minute. So you'll see right here, we broke above, we had a pullback, and there's your entry right there. But I'm trying to stay away from the 1 minute time frame, unless I'm really ready to use it and ready to go. But I'm not rushing to use the 1 minute chart. The 3 minute I've noticed is not as well performing as the 1 minute, so I'm definitely staying away from 3 minutes. So I would say generally I like to trade the 1 minute, 5 minute, and anything over 5 minutes. So that's pretty much all I wanted to discuss in journal. There was one other stock I was looking at, which was Zoom. You can see that's trading at the all-time highs, but I just didn't see the risk to reward benefit here. It's also a really high-priced stock, so it kind of ties up a lot of the capital, so it ends up not being really worth taking the trade, even if there is a good risk to reward. It's just, if you can find a better trade out there, I'd rather probably not take the trade altogether, or just use very small size and just kind of take some statistics on it. But I'm not really trying to trade this to for some big risk to reward trade. So anyway, let's see if there was one other one I think I was looking at. That's pretty much it. This one I was looking at. This one was trading at the all-time high in the morning, but it didn't hold. I want to put a little trend price line right there. You can see we broke above this red line, the all-time high, but it just did not hold. So I'm definitely going to put an alert in case we break these levels again. And there you go. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, the purpose of this video and the videos I make is to journal my trades, notice any mistakes I'm making, focus on good behaviors, And if you can learn from my mistakes, that's definitely a bonus. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and good luck.